Good evening, and welcome to another informational session here with the New Black Leadership Coalition on CAN Television. My name is Gregory Singh, and ain't no telling what's going to come out of my mouth. No, it's such an honor and such a privilege and pleasure and really blessing beyond anything to have this golden opportunity to come to you all live again here on CAN Television. I'm sitting here with a very astute young man,
Thanks.
brother,
Appreciate it.
member of the New Black Leadership,
That's right.
Doctor, Professor
Yes, sir.
Kelly Harris.
Yes, sir.
It is such an honor, brother, to have you on this show, and we're going to get started right away, but how was your day, bro?
Man, it's been good. Every day above ground is a good day. That's what the old head say.
Man, yeah. Every single
day. That's right.
And let me tell you, man, we have really been really fortunate. Last night on Intellectual Radio, I had Brother Enoch on, and he hit a home run last night.
I know he did.
Yeah, he hit a home run talking about the reset. We're going to be over at St. Sabina actually this Saturday.
Okay.
Some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And etc. So everything today, man, is about the area that you are in. I mean, you know, the climate. You being a political scientist.
Correct.
A political scientist, but yet an activist, an advocate,
Correct.
an agitator.
Yeah. Black studies.
Studies scholar.
Yes.
And Philadelphia, man. Here in Chicago, let me get transplant here in Chicago.
Yes.
But with the climate politically, it's got to be a lot of things that you could lend to the audience out here regarding, you know, for me, I can be pretty shrewd when it comes to politics.
Right.
And because I used to say, you know, I've heard this term, it's the art of compromising.
That's
and
correct.
then I would say politics without economics is symbol without substance.
Correct.
But we have gone from a drastic political apparatus, if I could call it that, from this charismatic, diplomatic, soft-spoken, eloquent, articulate, scholarly young man, Mr. Barack Obama, to now a tyrant. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
but we've gone from a eloquent black man to a tyrant, white man, Republican, Democrat, one who's exercising executive power in the first days. And one that seemed before him was afraid, waited to the last few days even to commute, folks. I mean, this is a deep discussion. And so the adjustment, because when I read a bunch of Facebook posts and just conversation, people are afraid.
Well, I don't know if people should be. Well, people should be afraid, but I also think that people need to understand that Trump really represents the privilege of whiteness. Right, and that's nothing new. Anything that we face, and Trump, he really does not have the panache to carry it off as well as some other folk have. But Trump is really no different than some of the other presidents that have come along. He's a little bit more crass, but he really is no different. And what Trump has been able to do is he knows that his base are poor whites and whites who feel were marginalized by the Barack Obama presidency, and whites who have this xenophobia, this fear of other, whether it's from Muslims or people from other countries, minorities in this country or so-called minorities in this country. So he knows that's his base. So what he's doing is he's appealing to them in everything that he does so far. So he knows. So Trump knows whatever he does, he's going to have a strong base that's there supporting him and defending his every single move.
And this is what he said. Someone told me, I did introduce you, right?
Yes, you did.
I thought I did. I thought I did. But somebody told me that I did. I didn't mention that he's militant. No. So, Trump is doing exactly, Professor, what he said he would do.
He did.
We shouldn't be surprised
No, we
at
shouldn't be
all
surprised. We shouldn't be surprised.
that Donald Trump is going to do the things that he's doing.
That's right.
And then at the end of the day, we should have been planning.
That's right.
We knew this day was coming. Where actually people thought up until that night, they really did think that Hillary was going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked. I know I was shocked
I was shocked too.
because I got a call from a comedian, and I thought he was playing seriously. And then he called me late. I never went back to sleep. The first channel I turned to was CNN. And I looked at their faces. I said, something going on for
Did
real.
the comedian say he had a meeting with Trump scheduled?
Right. Oh, not that comedian. That comedian catching a little hell right now. Y'all better call Steve. Love him still. But I tell you, the king of clowns, he's the king of clowns now, not the king of comedy. But going back to, we got a call on, I think I'm going to take the call in about a couple of seconds. But tell me, 4 years, just a few days, but 4 years, what do you see from your, experience in this arena? What do you see?
Reagan.
Reagan, Jesus.
Yeah, Reagan.
Professor Harris C. Reagan, folks. You need to be aware. That was supply side economics.
Yeah, trickle down.
Trickle down.
Well, never trickled down.
Right about to say,
never trickled down.
It didn't trickle down to us.
That's right. It never trickled down. Now,
Is Trump the same mentality?
he definitely is the same mentality.
Wow.
He definitely is the same mentality. And Trump is coming in on this populism, just like Ronald Reagan came in under. People were tired of Carter. Carter, the difference is Obama had 2 terms. Carter only had 1 term. And people were tired of Carter. Democrats went and voted for Carter. So then you get Reagan, you get these Reagan Democrats. People are moving it back, pushing it further to the right of the political spectrum.
Don't
and not the left.
The Democrats, and if you Democratic out there, the Democrats, they do really seem desperate.
But watch this. And I said this the other day, or a couple weeks ago, and I don't mean this as to cast aspersions towards Barack Obama, but I said that he really isn't. He's our first black president in terms of his ethnicity, but he really, in terms of his ideology, is not our first black president. And what I mean by that is, when Reverend Jesse Jackson, no matter what people think about Jesse, when Jesse ran the first time in '84, he was explicit and said, I'm running so the conservatives don't get control of the Democratic Party. He saw the party moving to the right.
Oh, yeah.
Because the party, they recognized we had to move to or they believe we had to move to the right to get back those Reagan Democrats so we can beat Reagan in the next round, right?
Okay.
So that's why Jesse was running. The Democratic Leadership Coalition was formed in 1985, which is a conservative piece of the Democratic Party who wanted to move the party to the right to get those Reagan Democrats back. Barack Obama, when he ran, Barack Obama said, I'm a new Democrat. And he was saying, and he told this to the Democratic Leadership Coalition. A new Democrat. He said, I believe in the principles of the DLC, which moved to the right, conservative. Right?
Well, he bailed out Wall Street. And people didn't follow. Really, we got caught up, folks. We got caught up.
We did.
In the history.
We did.
That whole sensation of the first. Now, I said this the symbolism. Yeah. And politics without economics is symbol without substance.
That's right.
And we have been happy with symbol.
We all too much.
And I said this, and many of you all, you might agree or disagree with this. I was very disappointed, and just to show you how God works, here's Trump, Professor. He has appointed, I don't know these individuals. I have to admit that I have not did some extensive research on the people that he have appointed. But people making a lot of noise and complaining that they are so-called racist. And they might very much be that. But he has not thrown any of them under the bus.
Right.
He haven't repudiated any of them. They made former President Barack Obama, he came in the gates to have to repudiate 2 black men.
That's right.
Honorable black men.
That's right. That's right.
And to this day, he have not tried to
Won't even say their name.
Won't even say their names. But he had a beer with a individual. What was that? Gates and the
police
a beer
officer.
summit or whatever.
Beer summit. That's right.
See, that ain't right.
That's
and then I heard people saying, "Well, you know, he had to do that. He had for who?
That's right.
Did he have to do that? How many votes was he really gonna lose?"
That's right.
And so at the end of the day, I'm just saying this, and this ain't even about Barack. I'm talking about Trump. What I'm the coalition that I'm making is Donald Trump don't care.
No, he doesn't.
He ain't trying to please anybody.
But again, that's the privilege of whiteness.
That's the privilege of whiteness.
That's the privilege of whiteness.
The rules change.
The rules change.
Double standard.
You can be unapologetically white.
Can you
Right?
say that again?
You can be unapologetically white. Right?
Let's take this caller, but I gotta remember that. That's a hashtag. Unapologetically white.
Yeah.
Hello, caller. How you doing?
Hi, can I get in?
You in? You want to get in the studio?
No, I tell you, listen, I'm a little confused, Greg.
Don't be.
When y'all say new, that's the only part I don't like about that title. Because you say the professor been around, and I know you've been around. You don't pay your dues 20 times. So I'm a little confused. Why can't it just be black leaders? See, Donald Trump ain't going to be meeting with no 20 and 30 and all them people just met. They were just cosmic. Donald Trump want to meet with people that got proposed. Ain't no more food stamps. Ain't no giving away nothing. All that's over. You got a proposal for a $60 million project that's going to put some people to work, step to the front line.
Okay.
You're going to put some ex-convicts to work. Donald Trump, all that. Y'all lost the election. You're going to keep your food stamps. I've never seen people cry when you lose a crap game. You lost.
Right.
But there's good energy because you didn't have it for 8 years. You've been asleep for 8 years, and Donald Trump woke you up in a whole week. And y'all criticize that, man. You ought to stop it. You ought to stop it.
So you're saying
people.
You're saying that.
Did you say something, Greg? Black people, let me tell you, Greg, and I'm on to listen to y'all because y'all interested. But Greg, here's what needs to happen, Greg, and I'm glad you're giving me the opportunity. Black people needs to coalition with Trump because Trump doesn't have a base. That's the Republican base. They're going with the Republican Party. Donald Trump is there for 4 years. He got that black girl, Omarosa. She'll come here and sit down with this leadership coalition. I'll give you her number, her personal number. She wants them. She's the front person. I'm telling you, don't go with all those other people.
You got a personal sale? You got a personal sale?
But what the Republicans want from the people is proposals. No more food stamps, all that public housing stuff. Come with your proposals, coalition, with what you're going to do. That's what the Republican Party wants to do. They want to put millions of dollars into these inner cities, but they want people that ain't hustling. They don't like hustlers. I'm telling you now, take my word, I'll be around them.
Thank you.
I'm going to listen to you, brothers.
Thank you. Love you, brother. I'm going to put up the overhead for a minute, just in case any of you all would like to contact the new black leadership. You can contact us this way right here. It's nice and straight on there right now.
Okay.
And that's us right there, the new black leadership. We're going to go to another caller, but I want to get back to that.
Yeah, we'll get back
You
to
didn't forget. You
No, I don't forget that.
Hello, caller. How you doing?
Hey, good evening, brothers.
Good evening.
Hey, I was calling to respond to, I feel how you guys feel about former President Barack not addressing the issues in the community. I felt as though that when he was elected president, that was our time for our liberty, us as the black people. But then throughout his presidency, you had to realize that the man is black, white, and no name Hussein, okay? So he's Middle Eastern. So he services everyone, okay? And which is sad because, like, again, that was our time for liberty. But again, as black people in America under this flag, we have not been given or offered anything. Anything any of us have worked anything, we have worked hard for and fought for and taken. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And so it's like this. We shouldn't even have to worry about what Trump is doing, because if you have made a way for yourself where you're not living off of the government and living, day to day and hand to hand, Trump does not even affect you, okay, day to day like that. Your local politicians affect you, your mayors, your governors, okay, those are the people that want your Social Security, they want your pensions and all of that, okay? So,
yes, sir.
People have to wake up. And this election has proven the great divide, okay? And I hate to say it, but the great divide against men and women with this Hillary and Trump thing, and it's amazing, it's amazing because Hillary wasn't the best candidate, okay? But the people were willing to go along with her atrocities. Just because I believe, personally,
yes, sir,
it was the woman thing, okay? And but
okay.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not against the woman president, okay? I believe we just had the wrong candidate as the woman president, okay? Because there's a lot of tough women out there.
I got your point. I got to go to the next caller, and you made some good points, but I do want to say thank you, brother, that we've been divided. We were definitely divided before, and they didn't divide us. They divided.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity for us to come together, and you made that point. But go ahead, Professor. You want to say something?
Okay, so let me take his point and then go to the first caller's point. So a couple things I want to address. One, politically, we've been fighting since the Civil War. And when I say we, I mean in this country.
Right.
We've been fighting since the Civil War. Recalcitrant whites in the South want the South and want the country to go back to what it was before the Civil War. And those people still hold on to those things, feelings of superiority, and that this is a white man's country. So when people say that people should come and assimilate, because that's been the language about these immigrants and they should come assimilate, what that means is give up their culture and be a part of American culture. But American really is synonymous with white in terms of the mainstream culture, even though black folk have done a lot to change the culture, right? But we know that. But in terms of what America stands for and what America has stood for,
yes, sir,
it's whiteness, right? So that's number one. Number two, we've been fighting since the New Deal and the war on poverty, right? So you have people who consider themselves to the left of the political spectrum saying that you need government intervention to give a safety net to people. Because of the capitalist system, you're going to have winners and losers.
Exactly.
Right?
Permanent underclass.
Well, you're going to have that, right? So you have to have something there to support people. So which brings me to the other point that the first caller made when he said, no more food stamps and all this kind of thing. Well, again, and I understand the sentiment, but we have to be clear, because this is why I say Trump is Reagan, because this is what Reagan came in on. People say ending food stamps and getting rid of the welfare queen and all those kind of things.
Right.
The image, the perception is that black people are the ones who benefit from food stamps more than anybody else.
And that's not true.
Not the truth. That's not the truth. So let's deal with the truth. Matter of fact, most people who use food stamps were Trump voters.
Wow. And they need to know that. We're going to take another caller. Man, you got the lines lit up, Professor. We need more time. Go ahead, caller.
Hello?
Yes, you on? How you doing?
Yes. I'm a black man.
Good.
Can I be racist?
No, there's no such thing. You can ism.
Hey.
Ism means your dedication, your commitment to something. A racist, you don't have enough power to deny anybody anything.
The definition of a racist is a person that believes in the superiority of his race.
Huh?
The definition of a racist is a person that believes in the superiority of his race.
You have to be able to act on it, though. You have to have power to act on it.
Hey, I don't have to act on anything. That black man is the original man. How did we get to be minority?
We never
we're
referred
not
to
minority.
that.
Yeah, you're right.
You're absolutely right. We're not.
You're right.
We are the first people on this earth.
Yes, sir.
To circumvent, we are the first people of the United States.
Okay.
oh, this is our country. This is, all we have to do is take back what the white man has taken from us, our culture, our knowledge, our money. Everything the white man got, he took from the black man. All the black man has to do is take it back. And that's very simple, is take his money and spend it with himself. Take his money out the white man's bank.
Okay.
Yeah, well, they didn't. Yeah, well, they got Seaway now. We going. So they don't have it. Right. Some Indian individuals they got it. So thank you, Carla.
Yeah.
But now go ahead. Thank you.
So it's
he's right. We are the majority.
He's right, but it's more complex than just saying we just need to take it back. It's a little bit more complex than that. We are globally the majority.
That's right.
That's
globally,
clear. Globally, we the majority. But we have to also understand what's happening on the ground now. We can understand the historical piece, but we also have to understand the contemporary reality that we're in.
Can you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
Because you're so astute. Look into all these televisions. We got a bunch of folks are communicating with such fear.
Right.
Such fear. And as the New Black Leadership Coalition, we like to bring it to people very plain and truthful. What is it and where do we go from here? Because, I've always said that there's one is a fox, the other one is a wolf, one is Satan, the other one is Lucifer, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other one. But as far as the future, what do you see? There's a lot of things unfolding, even with the latest drama with Donald Trump with this whole band on where he really hit 7 Muslim countries. But what do you see? What can you tell black people out there? What can we expect? Or what should we be doing?
Well, the first thing we should expect is that we should never look to the federal government or the White House as the solution or the savior. And we made that, I think some people made that mistake with Obama, celebrating Obama. But we should always be clear that any gains we've made, any movement that we've made in this country is from us continuously struggling to transform this country and transform the world. Yes, and any solution we have is going to come from us struggling to transform this country and transform the world. And seeing our struggle as a part of a global struggle and not just this struggle here. So we have to understand that. And if it's not about transforming and liberating ourselves, then we're kidding ourselves. It's not going to be getting crumbs from Trump or the Republican Party. It's not going to be getting crumbs from the Democratic Party and whoever else the next presidential candidate is in the Democratic Party. It's going to be from us working, disagreeing, debating, struggling together to figure out how to transform the world. It's as simple as that. Because in the current construct, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Some of us will benefit from it. There's no question about that.
A small
percentage. But again, we have to look as the first human beings.
That's right.
And as
the brother said,
8 richest people in the world have more wealth than 3.6 billion people.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So if we know that that's the case,
wow.
then there's something deep. It's something bigger than Trump. It's something bigger than America. We should all be appalled about that. And we should all figure out how can we work to transform that. Because those 3.6 people, I guarantee you, the overwhelming majority are people of color. Right? So that's what we have to keep our eye on. And what kind of world do we want to see for our children?
Right. I was looking at it. And one day I want you to come back on, or even one of the other members, to talk about youth unemployment as it relates to the politics, because when you talk about who gets what, and that whole Reagan mentality that Trump has, trickle down economics, nothing is trickling down to us. And that's why we gotta have a coalition like this, the New Black Leadership, because our people are being misled, misdirected.
That's right.
And we are distracted, worrying about stuff that ain't gonna fix nothing without solutions. Yeah. Just a bunch of fear mongering and etc. without a solid plan
That's right.
to do what we need to do for ourselves. There's no way out of this. So you can stop going to church if you do not believe that you got to do something for yourself. There's no mystery. There's no spook in the sky or something going to fall out and fix what's wrong. After 400 years, it has not happened. And so we could be involved, but wisely involved.
We have to. We have to.
Economically involved. We've been politically involved, but not economically.
But, even politically, we have to be more savvy, because the classic definition of politics is the struggle over who gets what, where, when, and why, and how. That's politics. That consistent struggle over who gets it. How you going to slice that pie up? Who's going to get X, Y, or Z?
I mean, everybody's exposed in this thing with Trump. The media.
Yeah.
The media. And they act as though they're afraid of him.
Well, I think, to be quite honest, I've been telling people this. I'll be impressed if Trump makes 4 years. I think he's going to.
I would be impressed if Trump make 2 years.
You might be right. I think he's going to get impeached.
I don't see Trump going. I don't.
Yeah.
And I hope Trump Trump don't try to pull nothing with me. I'm from the Robert Taylor Trump. The 4848 South State. Do your research. We ain't scared of nobody.
Right.
First Greenville, Mississippi.
Right.
And I'm just saying that I ain't bragging, but I'm telling you, I'm from 4848 South State, the Robert Taylor baby, and we bring it like this. You familiar with the Robert Taylor?
No question. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, let me tell you something. That's the best foundation I could say I've had, because it made me the man that I am.
Right.
In terms of understanding that we can make it.
Right.
And we could still be smart about how we deal with life.
Well,
not have low self-esteem.
Well, that's where I give a nod to these young people who are out here organizing things. One of the things that they're trying to do is really restore community in many of the things that they're doing. And that's the key thing that we have to do. We have to restore our communities. In this new age that we're in, social media and things of that nature, it's very hard to restore community in the old ways that we had it. But young people are very creative, and if maybe through these protests and different ways people are using social media, you can restore community and start instilling values back in people, getting people to understand and read. We got to go back to God. We got to go back to Elijah Muhammad. We got to go back to Malcolm X and Claudia Jones and Helen Baker and Dr. King. We got to go back to all these people and more. Look at what they said.
Draw from them.
That's right. We had a deep well.
We got a quick caller. I know we got to wrap it up. I'm going to take this caller real quick, and I might ignore wrapping it up. I'm just kidding. The producer back there saying, hey, this is your last show.
Oh, okay.
If you don't.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller, real quick. You got a few seconds.
My main concern is so many of our black men have been incarcerated and have, police records. And with the jobs, how can they compete in the employment industry when they have all these, just strikes against them?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, and you are absolutely right. That is by design. It has always been by design. Those roadblocks, but I tell you what, that's when God is telling us we have to do what we need to do for ourselves.
That's right.
We have to create our own economics, because the system is not going to let everyone in to be productive and survive with dignity. So in order to survive with dignity, you got to create your own economy, your own world, and then we do business with the global world and here. We got to wrap it up, but go ahead. I'm going to give you the final words, Professor.
And the final words for what that sister said, we have to demand full human rights for our people who have been incarcerated.
Absolutely.
They had to have their full human rights restored.
Thank you all. You've been tuned in to the new Black Leadership Coalition. See you next week, same time, same place. And Professor, we needed at least 2 hours to get all of this information in. But thank you guys for calling in. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Peace and love.